Hi there, Dr. Gary on the road. Good afternoon or almost good evening. Sorry it's so dark out, but we had a long day. We have some things to report to you. We sell dental practices nationwide. So today's topic is sometimes deals fall apart. And you just got to get back on top again soon. We'll talk about what happened today. So anyway, we now have 10 employees. We're in 24 states, leaving for Utah next week. We're excited about that. Just got back from New Mexico. So pretty excited. We're doing this now for 12 years. I was a dentist at 25. And with our 10 employees and 24 states, we're excited and moving forward. So the information you're about to hear is for entertainment purposes. It's not legal or business advice. All right? You could reach us every day except 363 days a year, except Christmas and Easter. And you can give us a ring from 7:30 a.m. until 9:30 p.m. East Coast time, always available to you. And if you're a seller, would like to sell to a DSO, please call us because they'll pay our commission often. And sometimes we can get your legal fees reimbursed. So we can explain that program based on certain criteria. But anyway, do give us a call. We're here to help you. But this is, as we mentioned before, for entertainment purposes, not legal or business advice. So anyway, what happened today? So we were waiting and waiting and waiting for this big deal. It's kind of a big, wasn't a mega deal, but it was very big. And the seller said he'd let us know. So finally today, through an email, the seller lets us know that he doesn't want to press on, doesn't want to go forward, shutting the deal down. What happens in these situations is sometimes sellers can't get their arms around it, or they're not ready to let loose. They've been working with nobody, and this is one of those deals where it was a DSO was buying, so the seller would have had to stay on for at least couple years, certainly. But it's a situation where the seller, I think, just can't let go, because financially would have worked out better by selling now and taking all the stress off them. But they didn't. So what do you do in these circumstances? Everybody's been working on this. Certainly you try to talk to the seller again, but it's one of those situations that I'm not one to give up, but you don't want to badger somebody either. But it's one of those situations where you've got to, as a buyer, you got to look at the next opportunity. Just move on to the next opportunity and always look at the other opportunity. Remember I told you, there's no deal done until 5 minutes after closing. That's when you can relax. 5 minutes after closing. Before that, there's no guarantee. No matter how clear, no matter what contracts may have been signed, it's 5 minutes after closing. Official closing is when you can officially relax. So that's just the way it is. So you as a buyer, you just got to get on top again. Begin looking for other practices for sale. Always keep your eye open. If there's one, there'll be another sooner or later. But I know it's hard for a buyer because you've really worked, and this is part of your career and your future, and you banked on it, and you thought you found the right practice, and it falls apart. But even for the DSO, they thought they found the right one too. I think the seller's making a mistake. But what are you going to do? You try to talk to them. You try to do a little resolution, and sometimes you can bring them around, sometimes you can't. But you've got to also figure that you've got some damage control that may correct the situation. On the other hand, you don't want to waste too much time trying to repair something that's just broken. It's not working. And I don't give up easy. But this is a situation where it's been a long time. So what we'll do is we'll try to find the DSO another buyer. And if it was a private one, that's the way it goes. Well, that's one of the attorneys calling. Got to run. Bye now.